Hello, everyone. Welcome to C-Suite Talks. We speak with industry leaders, introducing you to some of the most interesting people and businesses today. We are focused on women, money, and power, as well as diversity in all areas. Welcome to C-Suite Talks. I'm Dianne Gubin, co-CEO of C-Suite, along with
Beth Hilbing, co-CEO of C-Suite, and today we're very blessed to be speaking with Pamela Bowen, CEO of Eminence MSO, a leader in operational transformation and strategic advisory for high-growth companies. With over 2 decades of experience in healthcare, retail, and technology, Pamela has guided organizations through complex scaling challenges with both precision and purpose. But her work doesn't stop at the boardroom. She's also the founder of Crimson Sanctuary, a private temple space for powerful women reclaiming personal sovereignty, ritual mastery, and spiritual leadership. Can't wait to discuss that.
Yeah, me too.
Today she brings us both realms, the structural world of enterprise growth and the sacred space of feminine power, to show how integrated leadership is the future of sustainable success. And Pam, we're very happy to have you as a member of C-Suite for many years as well. So thank you very much.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here, and I love C-Suite, so it's a pleasure.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Pamela, you've led these multi-million dollar enterprises. You've advised high-growth companies for years. Tell us, because you have so much deep information, tell us something you've learned about leadership that doesn't show up in a typical business book.
I have learned that leadership is energetic before it's strategic. And you can have the best plan in the world. I'm a great project manager. I love plans, right? But if the leader's nervous system is fried, their energy is misaligned, the team is going to feel that. And it is going to translate to the results. Now, I've led multi-million-dollar companies, advised high-growth founders, and I can tell you, the most successful companies are deeply attuned to how they show up energetically, right? You won't find that in a Harvard Business Review, but I teach that every day because it's important.
That's awesome. And then I know that we've chatted over the last year and you've had some very profound personal loss, and we're so sorry for that. And it just is horrible that people have to go through that. How has it shaped or shifted you and how you're handling your leadership and CEO responsibilities and board member?
So losing 5 family members last year unexpectedly cracked me
One by one?
One by one, within a 9-month period. Cracked me open in a way that no personal development program, no shadow work, no corporate transformation program ever could. It showed me that grief is sacred, that parts of us that we try to manage in leadership, that we try to disassociate from in leadership sometimes, especially when things are difficult, emotion, sorrow, tenderness, those are the exact portals to our deepest wisdom.
Oh my gosh.
That
Pamela, before we go too much further, you know what? Pull your camera down or come up a little bit because your name is like across your face here.
Okay, let's see how.
Okay.
There you go.
Is that better?
Much better.
Such a beautiful face.
Yes. And please keep going about how your leadership has shaped these transitions.
It really showed me that was my deepest wisdom. You know, people have a hard time knowing what to say when you go through that much loss, right? People lose the ability to say, you know, I'm sorry, or it's going to get better. It gets softer. I won't say that it gets better, but if you will let it mold you, right? I think sometimes we want to get past grief really, really fast, but if we take that time, that grief is really the last offering of love that we're ever going to be able to give that person that has passed, right? And so if we let it do its job for us, what's going to happen is, I often think of that Japanese art kintsugi, right? Where they take that broken pottery and they take a precious metal, gold or silver, and they put that pottery back together, and it becomes something even more beautiful than when it started. That's what grief does to us energetically, if we allow the process. And since those losses, really, I would have to say I've led more gently, not softer, not but more soulfully, I would have to say. My decisions are clearer, my boundaries are firmer, and I've built more room for humanity inside the board. And that has not been something, especially when you get to certain levels, that humanity is often lost because the focus is on the financial target.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think this leads us into Crimson Sanctuary, which I don't know what that is or what it is. I have a feeling
So
been
Crimson
created through all
Sanctuary.
this loss. So tell us, what inspired it and who is it for?
Well, what inspired it is it was born out of the intersection of burnout and rebirth, right?
Sign me up.
I was like, okay, wow. And it's a sacred space for high capacity women, right? The kind like us. We carry the world on our shoulders, and yet we still show up for everybody else. And it's finally a place for them to come home to themselves in a way that isn't taught often. My family lineage is Hawaiian. My mother is Hawaiian. I come from a 7th generation Hawaiian healer. And this is for the woman who leads companies, families, movements, but doesn't want to lose herself in that doing, because hustle culture teaches us to lose ourselves. And we don't need to go there. It's a temple space that blends ritual, remembrance, and radical self-leadership through the process of ritual. And if that speaks to you, then we can talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, that sounds great. I think that would be a great one of our business roundtable discussions next year for sure. So
Yes.
I took a note of that. That would be
And
great.
what is an example of a ritual within this?
So I will give you a ritual that you can do this weekend, because this is a perfect time to do that. So you can light a candle, get in a place where you're quiet and you're not disturbed. And I want you to just simply sit and ask yourself this question: what am I still trying to prove, and to whom?
Ooh.
And then I just want you to sit and listen and write down. I don't want you to judge. I don't want you to try to fix it. I don't want you to try to hustle over it. What I want you to do is to ground yourself, to observe, and to remember, because your soul is going to remember all of this. And what's going to come up for you will surprise you. And what I want you to do is, when you're finished with the observation and the remembrance, whatever you've written, I want you to take it and burn it over that candle, so that you're releasing that energy. No one else can read it, because no one else needs to read it. But you've taken wisdom that you always had in you from the beginning, and you can move forward.
That's lovely. It's lovely.
That
So,
is.
so thank you for sharing that with us. As you've had so many transitions, you've had career shifts, you've had grief, you've had changes in your identity and evolution and leadership skills. What role does ritual play in that?
So ritual creates safety out of the unknown, right? So many times when we're going through those kinds of transitions, it's a very unsafe place. We feel very vulnerable. And when everything in your life is like it's changing, your title, your role, your identity, your relationship, ritual becomes the tether to that inner knowing. And it's not about candles and crystals. Those are great. I gave you an example of how to use one. That's not what I'm talking about. Ritual says this is sacred, and it's about reclaiming the structure of your transformation because it matters. And you matter enough to move through it with intention. And
Ooh.
women forget they matter enough, right? We forget that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So you take this ritual, which is very spiritual, and yet you're a CEO with a background in operational transformation, which is what we usually talk about. So you know, and how do you reconcile the two parts of you that are kind of at odds here?
They're not opposites, they're allies, right? So operational transformation is about alignment. It's about systems, people, outcomes, right? Spiritual leadership is also about alignment, energy, intention, and identity. So I just work at both ends of the spectrum now. And I've sat at tables with billion-dollar boards, and I've sat at the floor of ritual with women who are grieving. Both require presence. Both require vision. Both require the ability to put yourself in someone else's position and to hold them no matter what they're going through. They both require devotion. They're not opposites, they're allies.
That's a very good way to put it. Very good way to put it. So, as you know, in our world today, as I sat through 14 meetings yesterday and 8 today, and they're all different topics, they're all different people, and you're trying to keep notes and keep track and keep yourself. Our project management hat helps us try to keep everything organized. What does it mean to lead from a place of sanctuary?
So that means that you stop performing and you start embodying. Now,
Ooh.
people are not going to like it when I say this, but hustle culture is actually the manifestation of the wounded masculine, right? It rewards volume. It rewards more content, more visibility, more doing. And that doing is to avoid dealing with what is happening underneath. But sanctuary leadership rewards resonance, more presence, more truth, more authenticity, more power per word, right? Leading from sanctuary means that you know how to rest, how to choose alignment over applause, and
Well,
how
how
to
did you
build
just
wealth
get stuff
without
done?
sacrificing yourself. Because it's hard. It's hard. We get taught, and society teaches us every day. Get that applause, get that like, get that social media proof, get that, right? It teaches us to hustle. But what happens when we do that is that we forget that we also need to embody whatever it is we're trying to achieve. The future of leadership is about that embodiment.
Well, especially with all the AI, right?
Especially with the AI. Yes.
How do you put that methodology back through into your leadership team?
You show up with authenticity. Now, people are not going to like this either because it's controversial, but I'm going to address this. We talk about, there's been this movement of leaders have to be vulnerable, right? We tell leaders, well, your vulnerability is what's going to make that team perform. That is a crux to me. I'm sorry, but it's a crux. Because in every other aspect, when you're talking to a leader and you're talking about vulnerability, that is not a positive word. When you talk about vulnerable populations, the vulnerable and the elderly, technical vulnerability, a leader looks at vulnerability and they go, oh, no. We have to mitigate that. But if you tell a leader, look, I'm not asking you to be vulnerable. I'm asking you to be authentic. And authenticity means that you walk in, and if you've just lost 5 family members, you don't try to cover that up. You say, you know what? I have lost 5 family members. I am grieving. We're going to get through this together. but I need you to know that that's what's going on with me. That isn't being vulnerable, it's being authentic. And that's how you create that atmosphere for the rest of the team to do the same thing, because they're looking at the leader for an invitation, right? I need an invitation for how I'm going to show up, because I need to know that it's safe and that I'll be respected if I show up as myself.
Very good. Very good.
That's beautiful. It's really, thank you, because that is so authentic and so vulnerable, for sure. So thank you. And by your saying it, it gives other people permission to do that, right?
I'm glad.
Because it's not always on someone's radar, for
It's
sure.
not. It's not.
So, what's one invitation or ritual you'd extend to any woman who's listening, who feels that she's at the crossroads right now with all
So
this?
we did one ritual earlier with the question that I posed to you, but I'm going to invite you to a private podcast. It takes about 30 minutes to go through. So It's my gift to you. You can text the word ritual to 213-768-8906, and you'll get instant access to the podcast. It's called an invitation to ritual. You'll have 3 bonus rituals in there, and you'll get a bonus guided meditation too. And the best part is that if you finish the podcast in 3 days, again, it takes about 20 minutes to finish. So you've got 3 days to finish 20 minutes. You get to keep access to it forever. So you get access to the rituals forever. You get access to the guided meditation forever. But that,
what's the number again, Pamela?
The word is ritual to 213-768-8906.
Okay.
And you'll have 3 rituals in there that you can practice, and you'll have a guided meditation that you can practice.
And that's something that you're guiding and leading through? Is that
Yep, that is my private podcast, my gift to you. So that's my voice, me leading you, my energy to you.
Thank you. And if someone wants to contact you for corporate work, how do they find you?
You can find me at pbowen@eminencemso.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. That one is easy to connect with.
Terrific.
Than Eminence MSO.
Terrific. And just because, again, we've spoken so much about ritual and Crimson Sanctuary, tell me, who is the perfect client for you for Eminence MSO?
The perfect client for me for Eminence Consulting would be someone who is either in healthcare or in retail or transportation, because those are my 3 areas of expertise, that have need for someone who has expertise in AI. And I have a client who I've just created a beautiful opportunity with them for a partnership with a very large organization, think Amazon size. And they are going to roll out an amazing program for pharmacy medication management for populations that are on at least 10 medications a day. And you would be surprised at the number that are on 25 medications a day. It's shocking.
I know the U.S. is the biggest drug takers in the world.
It's shocking. And you have to remember,
sure they coordinate.
Yes, all of those drugs have interactions. So this software helps the clinical pharmacist be able to understand.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So that would be the perfect client for me. The person who's looking to scale, who has an idea or an opportunity that they need help with. They could be privately funded. They could be venture backed. I have experience with both.
Awesome.
Terrific. Thank you, Pamela Bowen from the CEO of Eminence MSO. Thank you to our listeners, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Cohn-Resnick Advisory, which is advisory, assurance, and tax services, City National Bank, Cigna Healthcare, Breakthrough Beverage, Uncle Nearest, who is hosting our upcoming summit in September. Please join us for that. And C-Suite Executive Search, if you're hiring for your team, please do give us a call. Thank you for listening. And Beth, where does everybody find us?
You find us on Apple, Spotify, or everywhere you find your podcast. Leave us a review. You can find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. And if you have any questions or you need more information, you can email me, beth@csweet.org. And please check out our website. We have so many great events with our members showcased as speakers and so forth. www.csweet.org. And Pamela, thank you again for being part of our community.
Thank you. Thank you. I forgot about the executive search, so we'll be in touch about that.
Okay, good.
Okay.